In the dimmed lights of a movie theater where you'd expect to escape into a world of fiction, sometimes reality can be far more horrifying. Often, we find ourselves nestled comfortably in the plush seats of a cinema, anticipating a cinematic journey. But what if I told you that sometimes the real chills, the real horror, lurk not within the film but within the very theater you sit in? Today we unfold 3 true, bone-chilling tales that took place in movie theaters, just like the one you might be in right now. Are you ready to dive into the eerie world of these unsettling true tales? Before we begin, remember to hit that subscribe button and like this video if you're ready to uncover the mysteries that await. Our first tale takes us to an old, historic movie theater, where the flickering of the projector wasn't the only thing causing a chill down the spines of its patrons. In the heart of a bustling city, there stood a theater. With its grand architecture and vintage charm, it was a relic of the past. However, the theater's history was not all glamour and glitz. It was in fact a place that held a tale so chilling it would make the bravest of hearts shudder. The theater was known for its late-night shows, a tradition that had been carried on for decades. Patrons would flock to the theater for the midnight screenings, often settling into the plush seats with an air of excitement. The theater was a place of joy, a place of community, yet there was an undercurrent of fear that was hard to shake off. The story began with a projectionist, a man who had been working at the theater for as long as anyone could remember. He was a quiet man, keeping to himself, always lost in the world of films. One night, as he was setting up the projector for the late-night show, he noticed something unusual, a figure, a shadow, lurking in the corner of the theater. He dismissed it as a trick of the light. But as the days passed, the figure remained. It was always there, always watching. The patrons too began to notice. A chill would sweep through the theater, an inexplicable feeling of being watched. Whispers of the phantom of the theater began to circulate. Some brushed it off as an urban legend, while others couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. The theater's manager, a pragmatic man of reason, decided to investigate. He ventured into the theater late one night, armed with nothing but a flashlight and his curiosity. What he discovered was beyond comprehension. In the forgotten corners of the theater, he found remnants of the past. Old film reels, photographs, even a pair of glasses, all belonging to a projectionist who had worked there decades ago. A projectionist who had mysteriously disappeared one fateful night. The manager was left with more questions than answers. Who was this man? And was his spirit the phantom that haunted the theater? The theater continued to function, its patrons choosing to coexist with the phantom. The late-night shows went on, the flickering of the projector casting an eerie glow. The phantom, it seemed, had become a part of the theater's lore, a chilling reminder that sometimes the horror isn't just on the screen. Our next story is a spine-chilling account of a moviegoer who found themselves in a real-life horror movie. In the heart of a bustling city, a quaint old theater beckoned moviegoers with its nostalgic charm. One such patron, an avid cinema enthusiast, decided to catch a late-night horror flick, blissfully unaware of the terror that was about to unfold. As the eerie tones of the movie soundtrack filled the theater, our protagonist felt an unsettling presence, a feeling of being watched, scrutinized, followed. But shrugging it off as the effect of the horror movie, they continued watching, their heart pounding in rhythm with the suspenseful score. As the movie progressed, the sense of unease grew stronger. The hair on the back of their necks stood up. A cold chill ran down their spine. They turned around to scan the dimly lit theater, but all they could see were the vacant seats bathed in the flickering glow of the silver screen. The feeling of being watched was as palpable as the tension in the air, but there was no one else around. After the movie ended, the individual decided to shake off the fear and chalked it up to the power of a well-made horror film. But as they stepped out into the deserted lobby, the feeling of being followed persisted. The shadows seemed to dance menacingly, the silence echoing with a deafening roar. With each step towards the exit, the sensation of being stalked heightened. They could feel a pair of unseen eyes boring into their back, the footsteps growing louder, closer. Panic gripped them as they quickened their pace, their heart pounding like a drum. As they finally stepped out into the safety of the street, they turned around one last time. The theater stood there, silent and ominous, its windows reflecting the moonlight like a pair of gleaming eyes. The feeling of being watched had vanished, but the sense of terror remained, etched deeply into their mind. This encounter turned an ordinary movie night into a night of dread and fear for our moviegoer. The theater, once a place of joy and entertainment, now held an aura of menace and mystery. The shadowy stalker, whether real or imagined, had left a lasting imprint, turning a simple movie outing into a nightmarish experience. A terrifying tale that would make anyone think twice about going to the movies alone. Our final story is a haunting tale of an unseen terror that turned a fun movie night into a horrifying ordeal. Picture this: a group of friends, excited for a night of laughter and popcorn, gather for a midnight screening of a much-anticipated blockbuster. The theater, a vintage building, is a local favorite, known for its cozy atmosphere and historic charm. But little did they know what was about to unfold. As the opening credits roll, the friends settle into their seats, their faces illuminated by the glow of the silver screen. The laughter and chatter slowly fade away, replaced by the intense focus on the cinematic spectacle unfolding before them. The theater is filled with the collective anticipation of the audience, a palpable excitement that only a movie night can bring. But as the movie progresses, an eerie sense of unease starts to creep in. The friends begin to notice strange occurrences that can't be dismissed as coincidences. A chilling breeze sweeps across the room, despite the closed doors and windows. The flickering lights cast ghostly shadows on the walls, creating a surreal, spine-chilling tableau. One by one, they start to hear whispers, faint yet distinct, as if carried by the wind. The whispers grow louder, morphing into eerie voices that seem to echo from the very walls of the theater. The friends exchange terrified glances, their hearts pounding in their chests. Despite their fear, they attempt to rationalize the events. Perhaps it's the acoustics playing tricks on them, or maybe it's just their imagination running wild, fueled by the adrenaline of the movie. But the unseen terror is relentless. The whispers grow into wails, the chilling breeze turns into a freezing gust, and the flickering lights give way to complete darkness. Panic ensues. The friends scramble toward the exit, their screams drowned by the terrifying symphony of the unseen terror. The once beloved theater turns into a labyrinth of fear, every corner echoing with the remnants of the unseen horror. And then, as abruptly as it began, it ends. The lights flicker back on, the chilling wails fade away, and the theater returns to its quiet, serene state. But the terror of that night remains etched in their minds, a haunting memory of a movie night turned nightmare. This chilling tale serves as a stark reminder that danger can lurk even in the most unsuspecting places. These stories serve as reminders that reality can sometimes be far more terrifying than fiction. We've journeyed through the haunted aisles of the Phantom Theater, felt the cold breath of the shadowy stalker, and were gripped by the unseen terror. Each tale, more chilling than the last, reminds us that the line between the real and the real can blur. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these stories. Comment below and share your own eerie tales. And don't forget to subscribe for more chilling content.